Good morning, and thank you for joining us today. We have Rohit Bachani today, CEO and founder of Merlin Entertainment. I just wanted to start by giving you a chance just to tell us a bit about the story of Merlin, how you started, and also how you had the, if you will, the audacity to take over or compete with the big names in the industry. At that time, I would have been assuming Sony, now more Samsung, Apple. So it would be great just to hear the start of your story.
Good morning. Well, I would start to say I think I'm the least qualified in this room. We started a business in 1998. I was 16 and a half that time. And it was more accidental than a planned business. I was on the way to the States on a scholarship, and my brother was in his first year of his. By the way, it's a business which started by me and my brother. My brother started 6 months before me, and I joined him six months later. So Merlin Digital started in 2001. 1998, we were assembling computers in the back roads of Dubai. And we're doing it for 18 hours a day, learning along the way. I think I learned a lot in those 3 years before the brand actually started. So a lot of pivots before a brand really started up. And in 2001, when the brand actually came, key partners helped a lot. We started with plugins, Sharaf TG, Emacs, Compumi, Virgin, and they supported a lot for a local brand, a Dubai duty free. And we kept on working on customer support. A lot of after-sales support is what I think what you really require for a brand to survive, a local brand to survive in Dubai. And we're still working hard towards that.
Well, thanks you for sharing that. And you said something key. You said you had an opportunity to do or take a scholarship in the US or join your brother. And I think for some of the members that we've had go through the course and some of the mentors, some of the suggestions was don't work necessarily with family, with friends. It's really tough. But how was your experience? And maybe your experience is a bit divergent in that sense. What made that partnership work, and what made you take that plunge with your brother to work in this company?
I'm still wondering if it's working or not because we fight a lot. But no, at the end of the day, I think it was more of a necessity. I believe we needed each other to work together. I should call him next time over here. He's a great person. He's in New York. He's part of the EO right now. So he's there for a conference. I think it's difficult. I wouldn't say it's the best solution, but that time it was the need of an hour. And we stuck it out. And it's a challenging thing to work with your family or friends. So I wouldn't say it's the best solution, but personally, I think it's a great, me and Shara, that's my brother's name, what we have together, it's excellent. He's excellent in sourcing, coming up with the ideas, showing us a platform, taking care of the finances, and I'm just out there, talking about the product. And it turns out to be a very good partnership. So far for me personally, it's going great. I think it's the opinion of others how they'd like to take a family partnership.
Thank you for sharing. And I think it's something, even though we talk about this in class, but there's a lot of family businesses in the Middle East. So yes, it's not a first, obviously. But like you said, some key things was sort of complementing each other's strengths. And I'm sure that trust there and building on that. Tell me more now about, you mentioned briefly about the pivots. What were the major pivots? Again, I'm trying to imagine life in the late 90s.
Late 90s, yeah.
And I'm imagining, and if you're talking about Dubai, there's a lot of different electronic shops and there's a lot of different activity, young people that have entered, especially the electronics field. What made the difference for you? What specific pivots, moments that you can remember that stood out for you and made what Merlin is today?
Well, I think we understood quite quickly to find niches in the market. We were assembling computers. There were 500 shops in Dubai doing the same thing. And what Sharad and me did is, while people were selling computers, going to corporates, not much was going to consumer, to the end users. End users are still buying branded computers. We thought of importing DVD players and putting it on the desktops. We imported something from Samsung called a Samsung PC Audio, which was a graphic equalizer for your desktop. Put lots of bits and pieces, made the PC look cool. We started getting transparent casings, and we saw instead of making 5 or 7% on a desktop, we started making 40-45% margins. So we understood that we really don't need to sell gazillions of units to make money. Maybe sell a 400-500 units a month and you still can, get food on the table. And that's what we understood back when we were 18, that if you get a niche, we're getting called some plugins. I've heard about Merlin computers, we want to stock in our store. So that's the realization we got. We are doing something right. And if we keep on doing things differently, we keep on adding that extra value to the customer. Like even customers, my customer, Compumi is a very big customer of mine. And when I went there, I used to wait 8 hours in the waiting room to get an appointment. He finally called me in, opened the agreement, and he said, "Here's, sign it and you can deliver all the goods without a listing fee." And I was shocked. Why? He's saying, because I bought a computer when I was in college of Merlin in 1999, and now when I was in his door in 2004, he said, "I like what you do, my computer's still working, and I'm a purchase manager of Compumi now, and you can just walk in inside now." So it was quite cool, knowing that what we were doing back in the 90s was helping us in 2004,
in
2005.
2000.
And I think there's some people in this room as well who bought our products, and I do hope they're happy with it.
No, I mean, that's a perfect story. I mean, it speaks about persistence, and maybe also a bit of luck, and at the same time, just your dedication to your brand. And I get a sense of passion from you, Rohit. And again, with a lot of the entrepreneurs, they take their work personally, right? Yes. They live, breathe it, sleep with it, wake up with it. And so how have you been able to balance that passion with actually moving forward into promoting innovative areas? Because when I look at your website today and I look at the different products, some things are not readily available in the market, but more and more you see different retail outlets that are also doing similar things. How do you, in 2015, how are you keeping that passion going, and also how are you being more innovative and more niche in this market as opposed to when you first started?
Well, I think part of this course is I'm learning a lot also from this place. We have to keep on pivoting. We were a lot into hardware, a lot into goods. We are getting into app development now. We've just done a project for the M government, Dubai Smart City, for the Sheikh Zayed Mosque. We made a 360-degree video for them a couple of months ago for the government summit. We also done that for Sharjah. So we're doing a lot of pivoting towards app development, 360 VR, and this is part of the process. You just can't depend on hardware all the time. Yes, that's our core business. Luckily, like you said, we are two brothers, so I can maybe focus on hardware, he can focus on more product development, and we have a great team right now. It's not as it was back in 1998. We have 95 employees under us. One of my key employees was actually working as a purchase manager in one of the key retailers, and I used to interact so much with him. He actually joined us, and today he's a GM of a company, and he's getting a lot of new accounts for us. So I'm seeing whatever I'm learning over here, we've maybe done 60-70% of it. But imagine if I would have done this course 18 years ago, it wouldn't have taken me 18 years to reach where I have, maybe 18 months. So I think all the students over here are quite lucky. And I'm a mentor in this course, but I'm learning a lot as well.
No, so thank you for that, and thank you for the compliment about the course. What specific failures did you encounter that you want to sort of discuss with the students here, or even give as a general recommendation? What failures to avoid, or what failures made you stronger? Maybe that would be another way to put it.
Well, I don't want to sound cocky, but I don't see much failures right now. I would say maybe family time. I gave a lot of time in the business, me and my brother, but luckily we started early. I'm just in my mid-30s now, so I think this is the time I need to shift to give more time to my family. A lot of misunderstandings do happen with family in business, so that there were some incidents but luckily we become stronger with it, so I wouldn't say it's a failure. I would advise, don't take a lot of money from banks. Try to, we haven't done that, so that's not a failure right now, but I've seen, we do a lot of OPM, learn from other people's mistakes. Yeah. So I've seen that happening in our market, and we try to fund from our own sales channels. We go to our customers, request for invoice discountings and get our money faster. So just try to get money quicker from the market and try to take less money from investors. We did have an investor initially. He's a mentor of mine as well. He helped us a lot. Of course, when we asked him to exit, we had to pay a lot of money.
Yeah.
But I was in the early 2003 or 4. But I think, yes, try to do it on your own as much as possible.
Thank you for that wise words. And maybe we'll open just for 1 or 2 questions from the audience.
Thank you. I expect Carl to ask me a question.